Welcome back, Nerglings. Today we are taking a look at the Grail Damsel. But before we start, be sure to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss an update. Grail Damsels, also known as Daughters of the Grail, Daughters of Bretonnia, Handmaidens of the Lady, and formerly as Damsels of the Lady, are powerful female Bretonnian magic users and priestesses dedicated to the service of the Lady of the Lake. Sometimes young children within Bretonnia are seen to have strange and mystical powers. They might be born with eyes of different colours, milk may sour in their presence, or they may be able to predict events before they occur. Other children claim to see ghostly apparitions walking about, or are heard talking to beings that others cannot see. A superstitious people as a whole, whether noble or low-born, the Bretonnians will generally be fearful of such gifted children, and go out of their way to avoid them whenever possible, invoking the protection of the Lady of the Lake and Shiala. Often, especially within Quenelle, such children are perceived as having been touched by the Fey inhabitants of Athel Loren. However, for every child who shows signs of such mystical powers, there are other gifted children that never display any outward sign of their strange, otherworldly talents. Some of these children are sent to the Empire, if they come from particularly wealthy families, to learn the arts of magic, but this is a rare occurrence. Before they reach puberty, almost all children with these strange talents will be visited by the Fey Enchantress. She takes them with her to the other world, and they are mourned by their parents as if they were no longer living. Nevertheless, it is a great honour to be taken by the Enchantress, and it is believed they go on to a better place, where their powers are used to serve the Blessed Lady of the Lake herself. Those males that possess magic are said to have never been seen again. The females will often return to Bretonnia years later as holy damsels. They wield supernatural power, generally over nature, and tell the Bretonnian nobles of the lady's will. Grail damsels are completely outside the laws of Bretonnia, and equally outside its social customs. No one would dare to criticize one, even behind her back. They are all beautiful, appearing young for many years before suddenly withdrawing to the forest of Loren, where most assume that they die. Many go about with their hair uncovered, and not a few are notorious for their promiscuity, though no tales of a Grail damsel giving birth are known. It is also common for damsels to take on Grail knights as both their protectors and lovers. Few claim to understand their behaviour, but the arcane support they give to Bretonnia's armies is much appreciated. Damsels and their superiors, the Prophetesses, are powerful individuals, for in their years away from Bretonnia, their innate abilities have been honed and tempered. Their magic is orientated around nature, more so than most other human wizards, for they are taught by the handmaidens of the Lady. Riding into battle, damsels and prophetesses use their powers to lend magical protection to Bretonnia's noble warriors, warding away the foul magic of their enemies, as well as casting them down with powerful spells of their own. They are also able to mystically encourage the landscape to fight the kingdom's enemies, persuading the trees themselves to lash out at the foe, calling flocks of birds to descend on the enemy at their call, even drawing lightning from the heavens to strike down in devastating arcs. Some damsels ride into battle atop mystical unicorns, their foreheads adorned with single spiral horns. These noble steeds carry damsels to where their magical abilities are needed most. When not in battle, they fulfill such roles as advisors to the dukes and king, where their magical abilities and visions may aid their lord. They use their powers to scry into the future, to protect the sacred glades favoured by the lady, to detect the truth in the hearts of men, and to lend the lady's healing where needed. As priestesses of the lady, they also maintain her shrines and lead devotions and prayers. In a similar way to the Enchantress herself, these powerful individuals exist outside the usual hierarchy of Bretonnia, and may come and go throughout the realms as they please, for none would dare to cross one so favoured by the lady herself. So, what am I using for my Grail Damsel? This miniature is from GameZone, who have a fantastic selection of not only Bretonnian proxies, but also Chaos, Undead, Empire and more. Possibly slightly larger than 25mm at 28mm or so, but atop a large horse, the scale shouldn't be too much of a problem. Note, the Grail Knights from GameZone are somewhat larger in scale and probably would sit well next to the larger modern miniatures from Games Workshop. I've struggled with what bases to use for much of the army, but this miniature fits well on a traditional 25 by 50mm base, and thus can rank up nicely with infantry if she requires some additional protection from rank bonuses and the like. In short, the Grail Damsel is a powerful ally for the army, and will be used to bolster the resolve of the soft-headed peasants, the redoubtable pilgrims, and even the noble knights. With that in mind, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some more in the series. Au revoir, mon ami.